Okay, so for today's workout, we're gonna rock a couple of joint circles, get mobilized, go through a couple of warm-ups, and we're gonna spend a little bit more time doing some muscle building work for our upper and lower bodies. First few exercises are gonna be joint circles. We'll start with our neck. You can start in any position you want, standing, kneeling. We're gonna take a big breath into the belly, pack the air down, engage the core. Have that tension spill down into your quads. So like if somebody came and pushed you over, they wouldn't move you. We're gonna start by pulling our chin down to our chest, and then 1 mile per hour, rotating it out towards the left side, hitting the block in the side of the neck, and then extending back, pushing through the block all the way over to the other side, and pulling back down to the middle. Going for 3 circles in each direction. If you feel any pinching, just bypass that pinch point. Don't try to push through it. And once you get 3 circles, same in the other direction, rotate to the side, hit the block, extend through the block, all the way over to the other side, pull yourself back down. Try not to let the shoulders follow along for the ride here. Good. After 3 circles there, we're going to do 3 shoulder circles. So starting with the palm facing up, we're going to imagine the air around us just got really thick, and we're going to push that heavy air back behind us until we feel a block in our shoulder. As soon as you feel that block in the shoulder, rotate the hand out, pronate your hand, and continue to pronate as you go all the way back behind your body. The hand should be facing down now and out. Rotating backwards, hit the block in the back of the shoulder, and rotate all the way back to your starting position. We're in 3 circles. Every circle, we're pushing through a little bit heavier air, trying to draw a bigger circle with our fingers. Hit the block in the back of the shoulder on the way back. Squeeze out the tension back to the starting position. Last one, brace the core. Move through that thick air. One mile per hour all the way back to the starting position. Same thing on the other arm, turn the palm open. Move that heavy air back until you feel the block in the shoulder. Rotate the hand out and then squeeze out that tension, pushing through the block in the shoulder all the way back. When you get to the bottom, reverse, hit the block in the back of the shoulder, squeeze out the tension, coming back to the starting position. Second circle, a little bit bigger without rotating those shoulders. Hit the block in the back of the shoulder on the way back. Last one, maintain total body tension so that none of the other joints and muscles in the body help create a bigger circle. Good, and we're gonna go onto our knees and hands, going for a hip circle. From this position, again, the air around us has got really thick. We're gonna kick back until we feel our glutes squeeze, drag our knee through that heavy air up into the armpit, into the chest, and then all the way back, not missing any range of motion as we draw that big circle with our knee. Now make sure that you keep both elbows straight throughout the entire circle. And you should feel this. You should feel the femur kind of dragging through the hip socket through the whole move. Once you get 3 circles backwards, you're in 3 circles forwards. Going knee into chest, out to the side, kicking back. Same thing on the other side. Big breath in, push the hands in the opposite side leg down, kick back until you feel a squeeze in your butt, and then drag that knee through heavy air up into the armpit, into the chest, and all the way back. 3 circles backwards. And then reversing the circle, knee to chest until you feel a little tension in the front of the hip, out to the side, and circle back. Maintain that 1 mile per hour cadence, pushing through denser air than our air. All right, so we want more joint circle for the upper back. You can stay kneeling if you like, hands across the chest. If you want a little extra feedback, you can grab a pillow or something like that to squeeze in. We're holding here. Probably want to be tall kneeling, actually. We're going to start by flexing forwards 1 vertebrae at a time over that pillow or whatever you have. And we're going to rotate 1 vertebrae at a time over to the side. When you've maxed out that rotation without your hips following along, we do a lateral flex to the side. Yeah. And then extend back as far back as you can, all the way over to the other side. Rotate there, and then pull yourself back into the starting position. And we're going 3 big upper back circles like this. Third circle, biggest circle we can. And same thing in the other direction. So starting flex forwards, rotating to the right side, flex down to the right, and then extend back over to the left. Pull yourself back into the center. Rep number 2, try to squeeze out a bit more tension. Pretending that we're pushing our shoulders through thicker air than our air. Third circle here. All right, we'll go into some activation exercises. Start by activating the shoulders with swimmers. These are going to be a little bit faster than we've done them before. Not fast, but not as high tension. We're going to go for 15 reps, hands on the low back, and we're going all the way forwards and all the way back. A little bit more of a steady cadence today. I'll hammer up 15 of those. If you're the first one done, you can keep going and get 20. So even though we're going a little bit faster than we have in the past, we still want to keep the hands up as high as possible, showing the joint the end range of motion, training mobility as we train strength. Shoulders will start to get a little burny by the end of the set. All right, wherever you are, let's get our last rep in. If you have a band, a mini band, you can throw it around your knees for some hip thrusts. If not, we're just gonna do body weight hip thrusts. Warm up the glutes. Heels into the ground, hips to the ceiling. Little 2-second pause on each rep. We're gonna do 15 glute bridges. Warm up the hips. Squeeze out your last 2 reps here. And we're going to go into a prisoner split squat. So we're standing for this one. Hands behind the head, clasping together, squeezing the shoulder blades back together. Feet nice and wide. And we're gonna drop straight down and back up. When you're dropping straight down, you wanna make sure that that back leg is at a 90-degree bend to the ground, 90-degree angle to the ground, so that you're getting a good stretch in the hip flexor. We're going for 15 split squats on each side. Yeah, don't let the body shift forwards on this one. We're going straight down, getting a good stretch in that back leg. Don't forget about your upper back muscles too. Squeeze those upper back muscles, pull the elbows back. 15 on each side. Change your fingers too. They like to do that in yoga. There's probably something to it. Think of your body as more like an elevator than like an escalator. You're going straight down here, not down and forwards. Even down and back is preferable. All right, when you've hammered out 15 of those guys, we're going down for another set of swimmers for 15 reps. Fast swimmers, faster swimmers. This is a reminder for the swimmer. Hands start on the low back. You get it nice and high and draw that big circle up and forward. Hands up as high as you can. And really trying to move from the shoulder blades here. So if you can kind of cue into your shoulder blades, squeezing, retracting, protracting at the top. Not protracting, elevating, sorry. All right, once you've hammered out 15 of those guys, we're going on to our backs for a single leg glute bridge. Heel on the ground, foot in line, coming up. Pausing for 2 seconds. We've got 6 reps on each side. Make sure that you're driving through your heel and squeezing your butt at the top of the rep. Every rep trying to get a little bit higher, really bringing that hip flexor towards the ceiling. And if you ever feel cramping in this position, bring your toes off the ground and drive through just the heel. Once you've hammered out 6 on each side, we've got 1 more set of split squats in the prisoner position. If you want to get a little bit more active with this one this time, squeezing the shoulder blades back, feet nice and long, and you can get a little bit of a jump off the ground. Get those fast twitch muscle fibers activated. 15 of those on each leg. Same thing, pushing back into the back foot. Getting more of a hip flexor stretch. If you haven't switched legs yet, make sure you switch legs. All right, we're gonna go into our first muscle building superset. What we're gonna do is a combination or a superset of push-ups and single leg hip thrusts. We're gonna change the technique so that we get a little bit more activation in the muscles. So for our push-up, we're gonna incline for our first set, kind of as like a warm-up set. It should still be tough. So just on a couch or a bench or whatever you have, getting into a good solid push-up position here, squeezing the knees and the glutes. As we go down, we hold that bottom position for a second or two, and then push back up. That little isometric is going to add a big benefit to this exercise. Make sure that when you're going down, the elbows come back to your sides, not hugging on the lats, but just a little bit off the sides so that you're getting more pec activation than if you go out to the side, it's all kind of the front of the shoulders. We're gonna do 10 reps like that with that pause at the bottom. Nice. Make this a core exercise too by squeezing your glutes and bringing your belly button up towards your spine. Okay, so depending on how challenging that set was, you might want to keep it there for the rest of the sets, or you might want to continue to progress it. Our second set, we're supersetting it with an inclined or a shoulders up hip thrust. So shoulders on the back of a couch or a bench, something like that. Opposite foot is on the ground. Or one foot is on the ground, other leg's up. No hands, we're gonna come up, bridge, pause for a second, come back and touch the butt to the ground, but not the foot. Come back up, bridge, and continue to thrust. We're gonna do 12 reps like this on each leg. Now, if you try that and you feel it in your low back and not your glutes and hamstrings, then let's go to the ground and do our set from the ground instead. You might feel a little bit of like stability in the low back, which is fine. But if you feel tension or something feels wrong in the spine, that's a key to regress the movement. Always thinking, driving through the heel to get up and then squeezing your glutes at the top of the rep. <clears throat> 12 reps on each side. If you haven't switched sides yet, make sure you get the other side. And we might be at different places, like speed-wise here. So if you're continuing going with your hip thrust, keep on going. If you're done those ones, we can go into our push-up again. Choose either the same option that we did before with the hands on the couch, or if you want to progress it, we're going for a regular push-up. And again, doing that little pause at the bottom. Going down, making sure the glutes are tight. The body is like in a solid plank position. Down, pause for 1 second. And now to really activate the chest, we're gonna think about squeezing the floor together. I kind of think like there's like a balloon in between my hands. And I'm trying to pop the balloon together as push away. See if that helps. 10 reps. Look at the fitness director with the solid technique. When you're done your push-ups, you're going back for a single leg hip thrust with the back on the incline. Make your alterations on this set. Maybe it feels better to be on the ground. Maybe it feels like you get a good workout when your back is on a couch or on a bench. Choose the one that's right for you. Range of motion is really huge on this exercise. So making sure that your butt touches the ground, that you're not doing one of these, just like a really quick thrust. That's not going to do as much as if you touch down to the ground and come back up on each rep. And the glutes should really be smoked after one of these sets. If you're not feeling that, regress the movement. Squeeze out those last couple reps. Full range of motion. Don't cheat yourself here. Take the time to go all the way to the bottom, all the way to the top. Nice, guys. Good work. We got our third set of push-ups. Again, option to go hands on the couch, hands on the ground. If you want to continue to progress here, we're going feet up on the couch. Lowering, pausing 1 second at the bottom, and pushing away. Only choose that option if the other ones felt like you were making them to 10 and you still had some gas in the tank. Whichever version you're choosing, make your body a plank. Squeeze your butt. Squeeze your knees. Nice, guys. Once you hammer out that last set of push-ups, we've got one more set of glute bridges. You guys didn't want to walk on Saturday, right? That was the point? $12 reps on each side. Don't lose your technique here. Drive through that heel. Squeeze your butt at the top of the rep. Nice, guys. Squeeze these reps out. It's not about power getting up there. It's about taking the time, talking to the muscles. Finish strong. Squeeze out those last reps. When you're done 12 on each side, we've got our last set of push-ups, choosing one of the variations. You might want to go for the hardest one, or you might want to back off for your last set too to get a lot of, like a really solid looking set in. So maybe you did decline last time and it was like you were just kind of barely making it to 10. You might want to regress it to the floor, or maybe you got 10 on the floor and you want to progress it. Just choose which one feels right for this set for you. Make sure you use that pause at the bottom of the rep. Pause, squeeze that balloon. Nice work, Sean. Good one. Nice sets there, Jeff. Good work. Work, Shannon. Nice, Peter. All right. Going into our next superset. We started a bit late. We'll end a bit late. We're going for some skater squats. For the skater squat, I like to have some sort of feedback behind me. So I've got a pillow here. If you have a yoga block, if you have a book, you can use one of those. 1 foot on the ground, hands out in front. We're gonna reach that knee back for our object and then drive back up. Driving through the heel of the front foot, arms stay out in front, And I'm just touching the knee back. So it's gonna be here. We don't want to be touching the foot down to the ground. So something that's low enough to challenge, but not so low that you're compensating and cheating on the technique. It's a pretty tough balance one if you've never done it before. So choose maybe a higher object at the start, and you want to work your way down over time. Doing 8 of these on each side. You should never feel this exercise in the knees. This is a hip exercise. So if you do, put your object farther behind your foot and reach back for it. When you're done 8 of those guys on each side, we're going down for plank shoulder taps. Let's let everybody finish up here. All right. So for the plank shoulder tap, before we go into our shoulder taps, solid high plank, squeezing. You hit the feet like a hip width apart. Squeeze your knees, squeeze your butt. Hands direct underneath the shoulders. Don't let them creep forwards. So right here, and we're gonna tap, hold, tap, hold. Tendency is for the hands to creep forwards during the set. Don't let them creep forwards. Ten on each side. Nice, guys. When you're done that plank shoulder tap 10 on each side, we're going down for a shoulder flutter. We're gonna go for time here. Face down, thumbs out to the side. Hands start as high as you can, and then just go higher. 40-second set. Ready? Go. If you feel your arms are going backwards, try to pull them more in line so that they're 90 degrees to your body as you go up. Yeah, good adjustments. Five seconds, hold strong, squeeze it out. 3, 2, 1, time. Nice. We'll roll into a side plank here. Finish off our circuit. So choices for side plank, you got feet apart, probably the first easiest progression, feet together, the hips up, or top leg up. We're going for a 40-second side plank, okay, so a little bit of endurance. You might want to choose 2 variations within the exercise to make it 40 seconds. Okay, decide for yourself, ready, go. Usually good for a side plank to start with an easier version and then go into the harder version through the set. Imagine lines of tension here. We want 1, pulling the hips up towards the ceiling, and then 1 going through the heels and 1 through the head, pulling you nice and long. Okay, so you've got those 3 areas you're kind of thinking about. We've got 15 seconds left. You want to choose the hardest variation you know. If you're taking that top leg up, make sure that the hips don't drop as you do that. Keep the hips as high as you can. Time. Good hold, everybody. Same thing on the other side. Ready, hips up. Again, as soon as you get set here, elbow underneath your shoulder, top hip goes towards the ceiling, tip of the head goes as long forwards as you can, heels go as long down as you can. That's halfway. And 15 seconds left if you want to choose the hardest variation you know. If you're in between, play with that in between area. That's the best way to improve on these, is to, maybe take the top leg up for a second, just feel it out. Time. Good one, guys. All right, we're gonna roll through that circuit one more time, starting with the skater squat. So you can take your objects again. We're going overtime here. It's 7:35. I don't know if people have to do stuff, but anyway. Skater squats. 8 reps on each leg, reaching that knee back, tapping, and coming back up. Woo. Keep the focus on reaching that back knee back as far as you can. Don't have to really worry about too much else if you just bring the back knee back. 8 on each side. If you haven't switched sides yet, make sure you get the other side in. All right, once you've done that set, we're going to a plank shoulder tap. Be tough on yourself on this set, okay? Keep those hands right underneath your shoulders. Farther back is better. And do not let the hips twist. We go from here, tapping. You can have a little bit of upper body movement just to get the hand underneath the shoulders so that you're more stable. But we don't want to have the hips doing one of these. And we lose a big training effect. Once you're done 10 on each side, we've got shoulder flutters. Thumbs going back. We're gonna start the set in 3, 2, 1. Just as a reminder, if you've forgotten. Arms come straight up, not backing up. That's halfway. Five seconds. Time. Finish with our side plank. In the side plank, as a different option this time. If you were doing this one and then bringing your top leg up last time, try this. Top leg down, bring your bottom leg up. That'll work a little bit more of your adductors and groin. A little bit of a different core challenge. 40 seconds, ready, hips up. That's halfway. If you'd like to try that bottom leg up option, now's the time. And again, if you're kind of in between, get up there for a second or two, kind of test yourself. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Next one, guys. Last 40-second hold here. Hips up. Okay, keeping those hips up. Try to bring the bottom leg up. That bottom leg is up and it feels good. Drive it as close to your chest as you can while keeping that back leg totally straight. Get really lower abdominals, hip flexor on that bottom leg. 3, 2, 1, time. Good work today, everybody. That's it. Finally. I always loved it when my trainers kept me overtime.